right, guys, listen, sorry we had a little bit of a late start. We've been looking forward to doing this podcast. I don't know if you've seen our podcast before, but me and Mike and Vin have done a couple of these, and they're pretty good. We talk a lot about the old days of American Chopper, which you might very well be familiar with. And everyone can hear me good? Yeah, good. Okay. So we thought we'd just come out here and kind of open it up to question and answer type situation, record it, and then let everyone who listens to our podcast check out kind of the back and forth conversation. So if you guys are good with that and you don't want to be shy, then just fire some questions at just Michael.
Yep.
Okay.
Nothing is below the belt. So
I got
Wait.
I got
Okay,
questions
he's got
that
one.
don't below the belt.
everything is below.
Mikey, I love you on American Choppers. I followed this through ever since your father and everybody else.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I love you. You're hilarious.
He
I
looks
love
good,
you,
doesn't
man.
he look good?
I'm telling you.
I know.
I just want to know how you're doing.
I'm doing well.
He's good.
I'm
Look
doing
at him.
well.
Abe Lincoln on his
great.
shirt.
What's your name?
My name's Bo Harmon.
Oh, nice to
All right,
meet
Bo,
you.
nice to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, I love you, Mo.
Yeah. You guys do a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, don't be shy. It's fine. Just pretend there's no cameras or any microphones. Yep.
How you guys doing? As I've already told you guys before, I've always been a huge fan, especially all your support for first responders.
Thank you.
Nothing to do with any of that, though. I always wondered whatever became of the Mikey Vinnie bike.
Oh, that's a really good question. What did happen to that bike?
I mean, I don't know firsthand, but I think it got dismantled and put back together and resold.
Yeah,
That's what I
Michael's.
believe,
Yeah, I got dismantled because Vinny went into a fit of rage after we unveiled the bike, and he smashed it.
What happened
Yeah.
during the unveil anyway? What was the deal with that? Did that thing fire up?
Well, I think eventually it did.
Oh.
I mean, that was kind of cloudy, but
It
Yeah.
didn't. Right?
yeah,
It did not.
I got some parts off the Mikey Vinnie bike though.
Oh, you got the shifter.
I got the shifter.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
got some of the trial parts too. I still got the. Remember that wrap we put around the oil tank with the Mikey and the Vinnie on it?
It was raised,
Yeah,
right? And like-
yeah. And we had a couple test pieces that didn't work out so well, but I got them hanging around somewhere. I'll sell them to you.
Yeah, I'll buy him cheap.
One of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was a fun.
That
It was
was
a
a lot
really
of fun.
fun episode. Yeah, especially when Mike made me hug him. No, you hugged me.
I hugged Vin around his waist,
Yeah.
which I'm accustomed to.
Yeah, he's good at it.
You know? Yeah, it's something we do.
Just a question about the event. What made you choose this location and this particular weekend? And do you guys have any plans for other events or another?
Yeah, so Bob, who owns the Rayne Drop, came to us and said, Bob over here, and he said, look, I want you to come out to this event. I want to create a motorcycle event. He does a lot of music venues here at the Rayne Drop, as you may well know. And he really has a vision for a bigger motorcycle event. And this is a first of its kind. And so we figured, yeah, we'll come out, we'll support it. And I think it's a good part of America to really grow something like this. You guys it's gorgeous out here. The ride was spectacular today, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really nice. So, yeah, you would say, well, why don't you do this by you? Well, Bob had the idea to bring us out, and I think we can expand on that. And I think next year it will be even 10 times bigger. And we're going to keep investing in it. We're going to keep promoting it. And we're going to keep doing all the things that make a motorcycle event successful. So 100% next year, this is going to be bigger and better. And we're going to keep expanding on that. Hopefully these guys will come back out, maybe even Rick Petco or something like that. I don't know. But we're going to keep expanding for next year. Come on, Clayton.
Looking back now, what's one behind-the-scenes moment from the show that that fans would be surprised to hear about?
I mean, There's so much behind the scenes, to
There
be
is.
honest with you. There's so much rhetoric that was not,
There's so much stuff probably on the cutting room floor
and stuff
never
that,
made it.
yeah, it was inappropriate
A lot
mostly.
of it's like if you work in an environment and all the stupid stuff you say, it's all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like bike builders are kind of like iron workers,
And it
you
would
know?
have to be on like HBO.
Yeah, exactly. It'd have to be on HBO. As a matter of fact, he was just showing me, apparently the film crew gave you, what, how much footage? Like
It was probably
45 minutes?
45 minutes of footage.
That was all behind the scenes. Crazy rhetoric, stuff like, you know, if you're talking with your boys and just out there saying the dumbest stuff, we have just reams of that kind of stuff, right? Like we talked in riddles almost. Even on the show, when you heard us talk, we had all these nicknames and these weird things we said. We almost didn't even speak English most of the time, right? Yeah. So there's so much of that stuff out there. And I think if Vin gives me that footage, I will release it on my social media and get it out into people's ears. I'm going to have to beep some stuff, but I think it would be really good, you know?
It would be really funny. And there was some other stuff that I didn't even know about that you just recently told me, Mike,
Oh yeah.
Tell them
about me.
Well,
about
yeah.
me and Vin.
It was just something. It was just something the editors had in Los Angeles, where they cut everything together and made it look like Vinny and Paul were romantically involved. And it's probably 10 minutes worth of it, you know.
I want to
Give them an example, like how they would
like,
cut it.
hey, send it home, pal. You know, woo, baby, yeah. You know, going back and
Just
forth.
taking our words and mincing them, and you know, we had a lot of fun back then. you
That
know?
one might be lost though.
That's funny.
All right, this one's for Vin. So we all know that Paul and Paul Sr. got into it left and right. The fights were a big part of the show. And a lot of times they cut to you, and you're just caught up in the middle of it.
Yeah,
And
looking
you're
like, "Oh, I don't know
going
what
back
to
and
do."
forth. And they would even interview you, and it was like, you didn't really take sides. But what was going through your head when some of those fights got pretty heated?
I mean, like anybody else, you know, it's not really a spectator sport, you know? So you kind of get caught up in the middle of it and you don't know what to do. You know, that's like, it's family stuff. And I get it because I work for family and that kind of stuff happens. So that's pretty much how it is. I mean, what else do you do?
Yeah,
right?
was that something that you and your father, because you grew up working for your father, right?
did, yeah.
And what, you guys had, what, the sled shop, right?
Yeah.
Early
and then
on?
the gas station.
The gas
and then
station.
the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bowling alley.
And the bowling alley.
Yeah, so Vin and his father had a lot of history working together before he came to work
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
And his dad was a lot like my father. I think that was probably
Yeah.
prepared you for
Yeah.
what would come.
When I finally quit working for my father, it was so I can have a real relationship. Because to work with him,
Was tough.
it was
It
tough.
is, it is.
Especially with that old school mentality of my way or the highway.
Yep.
It's you know, so I wanted to have a real relationship with him. So I'm like, you know what? I
So
gotta stop working.
it improved when you guys
Oh,
stopped working together.
Definitely.
Yeah, see, I never knew that. It's interesting because I think definitely working with my father made the show what you loved about it, you know, the volatile nature, the back and forth, the kind of butting of heads, the relatability, but it also, I think, was probably tough on our relationship.
Yeah, as a father-son. Yeah.
Unfortunately, when we separated, it didn't get better for me. It got a little worse. I didn't have Vin's exact experience. And I think for you guys out there, men and women, or, you know, everybody has family. I think when American Chopper first took off, certainly the family dynamic was, you love the bikes, you love what we were doing, but that family dynamic, that butting of heads, that insanity almost, because we had some bad blowout arguments, was probably the thing that was the most universal, because this show aired in 200 countries and territories and in 90 languages through the years, and it translated across the board because people related to family dysfunction at the end of the day. You think about this was 2000, and what was the first episode? 2002? Yeah, 2002.
Yeah, 2002.
There was nothing like that on television. I mean, there was a few reality shows, but not like showing all the raw fights and disagreements and laughing and crying and everything we were. So I feel like at the time it was groundbreaking, but it's funny, we didn't even set out to be that. You know, we got a call from a producer one day and said, we want to come and film you. We didn't say, oh, we want a show. And I think that's why it was so raw and real, because we didn't set out to be what American Chopper would become, you know? So
Yeah, and I remember when that first episode aired, of the jet bike before I was involved. Mm-hmm. And how when that first aired, you guys were really upset.
Yeah, we were.
You wanted to be about the building of the bikes.
It's true.
And yeah, it showed all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought.
And then the ratings came out.
And then the ratings came out. So that you guys remember the first episode with the jet bike? Anyone here remember the very first? It was a pilot.
It was a pilot.
That was the first episode of American Chopper, 2002 or 2003. And I remember we really worked hard. We filmed for like 6 weeks to do that episode. And I thought, like, man, we're going to be like Bob Vila. You know, this is going to be like polished. It's going to be like, we're going to show our art. And then they showed all the reality of the situation, which was the fights. That was like part of the experience for us, right? It was like part of it was real, right? That those fights were happening way before television, right? And so we had all these blowouts, and then you saw them, but what I thought was great about at the time, so the next day after the episode aired, me and my father were looking at each other like 2 years we were building bikes, and we finally got our shot, and that episode aired, and we thought we blew it.
Yeah, you're done.
We blew it. We were like this in the back. We had our head in our hands. We thought it was over. We looked like idiots because there was no precedent for that type of television. We just thought we were fighting half the time, and this looks bad. But you know what? In the end, we had a product to show, unlike a lot of reality shows that came after, which was just fighting. They weren't building things, right? So our show was very groundbreaking in that sense. And then I'd say by 5 o'clock that day, the emails started coming in, and we had a bookkeeper who was robbing us, by the way, but that's another story. And she was printing out our emails. And so by like 3 o'clock, we had like 300 emails that were all very positive, right? So we're reading them, and like they were giving my father a hard time. By 5 o'clock, the ratings came in, and we just blew it out. So, we had no understanding of television or how to be actors or anything like that. Matter of fact, I didn't even like my picture taken at the time. And then ratings came in, and that was it. That kind of started everything in motion. Then we did the Cody Project, which was the next pilot. And then we started the series, American Chopper, and that was the first build of the series that me and Vin were heavy on. And Michael came in. When did you come in? Black Widow?
Black Widow.
Yeah, so Michael came into the show. So there were 2 episodes. The first episode, these guys weren't in, and by the beginning of the series, the Black Widow launched, and we were all in full force by that time. And then we started bringing in other characters. We didn't bring them in to be like television characters. We brought them in because we needed help because we were so busy. It was just necessity. And then we got Christian and Nick and Rick Petco. Yeah. And later on, Jason Poole.
And Cody was already there.
And Cody was like way there. He was there before both these guys, Cody. So it's pretty interesting how it all really worked out in a very organic way. And I got to tell you, that's what you loved about our show. It was nothing pre-rehearsed, recorded. The fights weren't pushed. It was all happening in real time, and you got to see it every Monday night, and we didn't even know what you were getting. And here's another thing about the show that I think you would find interesting. We've never had control over editing. In all the years of American Chopper, we never said you can do this or you can't do this, or you can do that or you can't, or else it would have been a whole different show because no one wants to look bad, especially my father, okay? So the fact that none of us were able to say anything about how the show was edited made it as raw as you can imagine. And I think it was part of the staying power, right?
It was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on Monday nights, it was a surprise to us.
Yeah, it was a surprise to us. We watched it with you every Monday night.
Yeah.
2 things. 1, where's Cody now? And 2, is there plans for filming of anything in the future?
Oh, well, okay. So first of all, where's Cody now? Okay, so after things started to kind of dissipate, Cody was my dude, right? Because he came up through the ranks, and he was probably in his early 20s after he worked for you.
Yeah,
how old was he when he came to work for me after that?
2012. He's almost 40 now. He's born in 87.
He was in his like 20s, right? He was like in his mid-20s. He was my guy. Cody could weld anything. He could fabricate anything. He could run my water jet, and he could wire a bike. He could assemble a bike, right?
Yeah.
He was my one-man band. I only needed just Cody. And
The
so
only thing he couldn't do was probably the CNC machine.
that's it,
That was probably
CNC.
it.
But everything else, man, he was right on it, right? And we were cooking. And he came into my office one day. He called me in. I sat down. He said, listen, I got this opportunity, okay? Because our gas and electric company is Central Hudson. And he said, I have this opportunity. I can go. My father got me a job at Central Hudson. And he said, if I don't take it, okay, if I don't take it, I'll never forgive myself. That's how he opens up the conversation. Now, I love this kid. He's just a great kid, right? So immediately I knew I'm letting him way off the hook. He's out. Go do what your future is. And that's what happened. He went to work for Central Hudson, and it has worked out. It's better than if he worked for me forever, because, you know, things slow down and maybe things would have changed. So he took his opportunity when he had it, and he's done how good for himself.
Yes, yeah.
He's done. I think he owns a farm now. So
He
he's
has an excavation company.
yeah, he's a go-getter, man. He kicks ass. He really does. Cody's done very well. And, you know, back in the day, he loved it. This kid was 14 years old driving his dirt bike like across the street from where he lived to work with us. So he got his start. He learned how to be a man working for, you know, OCC back in the day. And it was good for us. I mean, it really was. He was a great asset. He was great on the show.
And just a great kid.
And just a great kid. And, you know, it's another example of like just some random neighbor, like your neighbor, coming over and starting to work, and they put a camera on him and it works out. Like the dynamic is there, right? So I think that's really that. There were so many facets to our show that were so unique. And as I get older, I appreciate them more and more, because there's nothing like that out there anymore. There's no television like that anymore. Think about it. What do you watch on TV? And you know, the other thing we were talking about the other day, families don't get together and watch shows like American Chopper anymore, right? I don't know your experience, but families used to sit down, the whole family, 5 people, and maybe the grandpa. And Monday nights at 9 o'clock, even though football was on, they watched our show, because they had to see what we were doing, because a lot of times they split episodes. So the first part would be the Monday before and the finish would be the Monday after. It's very smart. And so you would have to be there. There was no DVR. There was no HD television. And Monday nights, 9 o'clock, if you weren't sitting there in that couch watching what was next, you missed it. You know, so I think honestly, and I miss those days. We just did a podcast and talked about this stuff. I miss that. Everybody's on their phones. This is like our new world right here. It's all just down here with your head down. You go out to dinner, everybody's on their phones looking down. It's like, it didn't used to be that way. So our show was still in that framework, you know?
100%.
So. What's that? Well, I don't know. I feel like we need to do a Where Are They Now? I feel like I have to figure out something. I want to build a bike with this guy. And I want him to be standing there telling us what to do. The
Absolutely.
boss.
Yeah, the foreman.
Do you guys have children?
Yes. Yeah, so I have a 10-year-old.
You got it, Mo.
I would like to build this stuff.
I got to tell you something. Honestly, like, I would love... Oh, I have a 10-year-old son, Hudson. Yes, just one. We were blessed with one kid. We tried, but we got one great kid.
We have 8. So.
Oh, you have 8 kids? Oh, my God. You got him beat.
Why do you think I have a bus?
Vin's got 7.
I only know about 4 of them.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, I think as far as television goes, listen, I think we would love nothing more than to build. I'd love to build a bike with this guy. We were just talking, we don't really build bikes. I'm a commission-based guy, so I don't like build bikes as a hobby. Like, Major League Baseball has to come to me and say, hey, we got this marketing campaign. We want you to build a bike, like this bike, right? That happens far and few in between now. But I'll tell you, man, if we got back together, we were just looking. Vin didn't see this bike. Vin didn't build this bike. He built this bike with me, because this goes back. But when American Chopper came back, we built this for MLB. And he was just looking at it and enjoying looking at it, because he never really saw it in person. And this is the kind of thing me and him did together all the time. These are 2 examples of 100 motorcycles that are heavily themed. with a tremendous amount of forethought, with a tremendous amount of creative, and it all had to do with theme marketing and advertising for some of the largest brands in the world. Am I right?
Yeah.
Some of the and me and him were crack. Okay, Mikey was comic relief and fantastic.
There you go.
Farting on seats that my father's face was on,
That's right.
or talking about
Those
it.
were the days.
And me and Vin were crack, man. We were, we were talking about like this bike, like all these early bikes. It was kind of just me and him. It was just me and Vin. And Vin was like the mechanic, had this mechanical mind. I had this creative mind. I grew up in the steel business, so I was a fabricator. Vin was a mechanic, becoming a fabricator, running the little mini water jet that we had, making all the brackets for stuff. And it was like the beginning of something great. So we really experienced, you watch the Comanche build. It was like super early days of that type of stuff. Super high level creative for the time. And we were doing the Snap-on bike. What was that first season? It was Snap-on bike, the Miller electric bike where we're towing the welder behind us. I mean, this is like heavy.
Figuring stuff out.
Yeah, and now I'm like, I'll be 51 coming up, right? So when I look back at my youth, I have such an appreciation for what American Chopper afforded us. Because honestly, if it wasn't for the show and the exposure it gave us globally, these big brands would have never said, hey, will you build us a motorcycle, right? They were just pouring in. And aside from the big brands, we did a lot of off-air bikes, like tons of off-air bikes. And this was like in the heyday, So, what's next? I don't know. I would love to build another bike together. I think people would love to see that. I mean, especially like whatever age you're at, wherever you are, whether you're 30 or 60, I feel like there's a big range of people in there that love that type of content, and it's not out there. There's a lot of content. There's just not good quality content where you're creating things anymore, right?
You guys like challenges?
We do.
Good. Build a bike for next year and have it here.
We could probably do that. We just need so much money. That's the problem. We gotta back up the truck, No, I think we could probably do something like that.
Do you guys believe in Jesus?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then start praying about it.
We will. We will do that. Right?
Yeah, that's great.
We got a Facebook Live question from Jake Fallon.
Awesome.
He is asking, is there a certain build that you wish you could go back and redo, and how would you have done it differently?
I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, for me, I'll be honest
There's
with
a
you.
lot of builds. I was looking at some of the stuff and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Like, how many bikes have we done?
Lots of bikes.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And a real number, though. I mean, it's
I
hundreds, right?
would say this about the bikes. Like when I look at them, I think almost all of the bikes, I think there could have been something better about them. Does that make sense? I love them all. I think they're great. Actually, their imperfections are almost what are endearing a little bit to some extent. You might not find what's wrong with them, but for me, I always want to do better. Even for us, look, we pushed and pushed through the years to make bikes better and better every time we built them. Were they better? I don't know. You be the judge. But we didn't stop trying. We didn't know. I mean, I pushed him hard. He was starting to do the CNC stuff, and I would task him. Even my sheet metal guy, Brendan, like once we separated and did the senior versus junior thing, once we started building bikes as Paul Jr. Designs,
That really pushed it.
it really pushed it because we were feeling the pressure of OCC, right? Because I come from OCC. I am OCC, right? Now, I come out of that. I was the creative force. And then now I found myself separating myself from that situation, which is very difficult to come to terms with. But I also knew they were there, we're here. We have to now prove that we can do what they did, right? And so we pushed hard. Even our build-offs, like our build-off 1 and 2, we left there was nothing left to chance. We bled out on the floor working 20 hours a day. And I have to say something, Brendan's not here.
No, he's not.
But I'll tell you
he's
right
such a
now,
big
man,
part.
Brendan Thompson,
Of the
my
J-
sheet
yeah.
metal guy, has been
JV.
built
Yeah.
all the sheet metal on that bike right there so you can marvel at it. That guy, Obi-Wan Kenobi, man, in the trenches. If you had one guy you wanted to pull down with you and you had to fight, Brendan was the guy, right?
100%.
And he came in every time and he performed. And even like when we started Paul Jr. Designs, we had a crazy team. I mean, we had me, we had Vin, we had Cody,
Yep.
we had Mike,
We had Brendan.
we had Brendan, and we had a few other characters in there that came and went. But I'm telling you, man,
With
we
that,
were.
We can make anything happen.
We can make
could.
anything happen. That's how we felt. And we
was a
were
great
not
team.
willing to give up anything. And we worked 20 hours a day at times, didn't we?
Yeah.
We worked around, and Vin almost got divorced twice. Not really, but
No.
I saw it on his face because he was married early and, he had kids and he was popping out kids early, this guy.
Blasting them out.
Yeah. So, really, I mean, we really went for it hard, and we had to be compared to the senior, no pun intended, company,
And we
which
had to step them up every time, every next bike build.
we
had to-
did, we
had to be
did.
better than the last.
Yeah, we pushed ourselves.
Yeah. That's what I miss.
I know, me too,
I
me
miss
too.
when you're finished with something, figuring out how you're going to do it better.
Yeah, when I had Rick Petco on my podcast, he go and then we talked about it, and his answer for what does he miss about the show? The creative. He misses the creative. I miss it too. He misses it. Maybe we all got to get together and build something, man.
I miss it too. I miss when we came up with a new bike and we got together. It was like, here's what we're doing. Let's figure it out.
Yeah,
You know,
man. And
then I would
unveils
sit at
were
that computer
pressure
and-
on top of pressure,
Yeah.
like crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I have a suggestion that could answer a whole bunch of the things you just covered. For a special episode for you all to get back together to do another build, track down and restore the Mikey Vinnie bike, and then unveil it here at next year's Bike Fest.
There you go.
I have
I
no
like
idea.
it.
I have no idea. what
I don't think
we're
it's
doing.
trackable. I think it got turned into a popcorn bike or something like that, maybe.
Was it?
I just made that up. I don't know.
Chris
don't
would probably
know.
know, but that's what I heard. When he gave me that suicide shift.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they took it all apart.
I think back in the day, maybe OCC had a lot of bikes to their credit. They had so many bikes, and I think
They were kind of liquidating some. That's
as
how-
time went
that's how I
by,
got my scooter back.
yeah, I think maybe the
liquidated
shine
that.
wore off them for them, and they were like repurposing stuff, which is look. It's what you do when you have to do it, right? You do what you have to do. So I think some of that stuff kind of went out that way. But even to talk about unveils, I mean, we did that. You remember the Cadillac bike? Remember that frickin' build? That's one of my favorites. It's the one that got away for me because they sweepstakes that, and someone won it in California. I got the guy's number. I keep calling him, but he's not parting. He's just the price keeps going
That bike
up.
was
So
that bike was amazing.
that bike
The
was
whole episode, the experience, going out there, everything.
everything
Yeah.
at the Proving Grounds, GM Proving Grounds.
Yeah.
It was pretty killer.
That was.
It was my OCC at the time. This was early on, like maybe like 2 years into maybe the first season where it was PJD and OCC separate. And actually, Discovery brought us the build. They brought us Cadillac, and so both sides had to build a bike for the CTSV as like this is what we're working with, And certainly, man, we it wasn't a competition, but we saw it that way because
we
it was
definitely
Apple.
did.
It was our first apples to apples build
Kind of like
with
our
OCC.
first mini build off.
It was. It really
In our
was.
heads.
It was in our heads. It was,
Yeah.
and we really went full on with that whole build. So,
I don't even remember what their bike looked like. Do you?
no, it's not memorable.
I don't. I was just
No,
thinking
no,
about
it's
that in
just,
my head. I'm
they
like,
did a different type of thing than we did,
Yeah.
But I don't know where I was going with that. But
Question for you. So when you guys decided you want to build a bike, how long does it take you? Because when watching the show, I don't want to say when Mikey would walk in, he was like the mediator. I used to love when Mikey would walk in because tensions were high and he'd come in and he would throw the water on the fire and kind of put it out
Yes.
a little bit. Vinny, your ability to weld and what you did was amazing. Paul, I don't know how you come up with these designs, but I mean, do you sleep on it? Do you throw it around? How do you do that? And what's the normal build? Because like on the show, they would show 2 or 3 episodes and the bike was done. And I know that in real life, that's not how it goes. Because I've fabricated stuff.
Yeah.
And it's put it together and like, nah, that's not.
yeah, the show made it very expedient. It was very, served up on a plate in 40 minutes that took 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever. I mean, for me, I'll tell you. So from my creative ability is a God-given ability. God has given me a creative gift. Flat out, end of story. I was not creative in school, I never took a class on creativity or design. I never read a book on design or creativity. When I was given the ability or given the opportunity to build motorcycles, this is what came out of me. Okay, now I couldn't do it without these guys. You see what I mean? So without my team, it's just an idea, right? But when given the opportunity and the team, we created these works of art. So from thank you for your compliment. That's how I would describe what you see.
We got a Facebook question. It was an anonymous message, but it says, are there any new builders out there that you like?
I mean,
Listen, I've been out of the game.
yeah,
since
you
12.
know, it's so weird because, like, people say, oh, how's the motorcycle industry? I don't really know. It's weird because, like, I build these type of things for large corporations. If they're not interested, I'm not really building bikes. I don't build bikes hobby-wise. I build theme, right? So from that perspective, I mean, I don't really follow other builders, you know? I don't know, man. I feel like Mike's got a great bike back there if you get to look at that. This is from Torque's Custom Cycles. Torque, Mike, back there? Yeah, right back there. Check out that bike back there. He's doing a great job. What's that called again? Some Cholo or something? Yeah, it's like a Cholo style bike, you know, all engraved. Go look at that bike. It's like a work of art in and of itself. But as far as like following people, I don't know. You got to remember, man, I came up with like, you know, Arlen Ness and Paul Yaffe and like, you know, Billy Lane and you know, all these crazy builders from back in the day. If you remember back then, there were so many builders when we came on. When we came on the scene back like 20 years ago, there was a lot of great builders, you know, Jesse James, all these guys were building crazy stuff. Love them or hate them, it doesn't matter. That's the world I'm from. That's that old school. I'll never forget when I first started building motorcycles, Roger Bourget set out a Christmas card, and it was just like a little postcard. And he had this Python motorcycle. I don't know if you ever seen it, but it had like a snakeskin paint job. I'd never seen anything like it. And he had like a racing slick flat tire. They didn't make fat tires. Like maybe a 180 or 160 was the widest tire. Now they make them 360, right? But back then it was just a flat tire he put on a bike. It was this wide. And to me, I saw that and it blew my mind, honestly. So I had a lot of inspiration from some really great minds, great designers, people who had great ideas. That was some of my inspiration coming up as a young person in my 20s, you know? So that's the kind of stuff that affected where I ended up going. Now, I feel like from a design standpoint, I'm unique in the fact that I build theme. Most builders will build a bike and change the paint job, and their look is what you know that they are, right? But for us, what we were was a chameleon in the sense that we built whatever it needed to be, whether it would look like this or this much. So these are two spectacular works of art, but they're completely different in design because they called for different things. So I always like to build what it is that people, these corporations would build for themselves had they built a motorcycle. Does that make sense? And whether it's Cadillac or Mercedes-AMG or Geico or Microsoft or any of those, right? I was always trying to interpret what they would do if they were to build a motorcycle, right? And we had creative freedom. I mean, through the years of Paul Jr. Designs, there were no drawings. There's no drawing for that motorcycle. It's just what you see. We build in 3D and in real time. And when you watch the show and you watch this thing come to fruition, you watched it in real time. You didn't get the picture first. The OCC days was we had to draw something, get the approval. I would even sit down with Jason Poole and make the tweaks because Jason was great at drawing stuff, but he wasn't good at understanding how it worked. So he would draw it, but it would be like 30 feet long with a snake tail. You know what I mean? And I would have to come in and be like, dude, we got to bring this thing in like to this far, right? And like this is proportionate, and I would do all that. And then the company would approve it, and then I would go out to the lift, we'd build it, and I'd have to make adjustments even still. You know, and then after that, when we parted ways with OCC, we would just do It was all freeform. Even the Cadillac build, it was OCC building a CTSV bike and us building a CTSV bike. We were 2 weeks into the build. We had a meeting with Cadillac, and I was talking with the guy who designed the car, and I said, look, you got to understand you're not getting any drawings, right? Because OCC already submitted their drawing and had it approved. And they said, yeah, that's fine. We just want to see what you guys are going to come up with. And that was the position we had because of the consistency of building great products year after year without any drawings. We just gained credibility. And if you know anything about corporate America, that's not a real thing. No one really does that. No one accepts that. There's 1,000 approvals for a T-shirt design. Never mind taking all their IP and turning it into something on two wheels, right? It's probably the most unique thing about what we did.
Kind of a two-parter question. Do you ever watch the show with your son? And do you ever watch the show? And is there anything that Discovery did in a particular episode or something that over dramatized that you kind of question that's not how it kind of went down or something along those lines?
Okay, so first of all, watch it with my son. I've tried that. He's just not that impressed with me. I'll be honest with you. He is, because I'm a great dad. We have a great relationship. But as far as that kind of thing, I mean, he sees it. People come up. They want autographs and pictures wherever we are. We go into stores. And, I always, and sometimes, if the shop's not open and we pull in, he's like, Dad, there's someone out there. Go take a picture with him. He's real sensitive like that. So I'll go out and take a picture because he's like, these guys. So as far as that goes, he's not really impressed. I think as time goes by, he's very creative mind, right? He has a very creative mind. Is he doing motorcycles? No. Will he be? I don't know. I'm letting it. We named him Hudson because the Paul thing was kind of played out, to be honest. I always thought my son would be Paul Jr. I don't know. I really did. I always thought I would name my son Paul, but I think after time went by, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of things. So, and then you can ask my wife over there. He's a Hudson, right? And then that's it. He's been Hudson, and he's 100% who he is. So I think from that standpoint, he's not very impressed. But I'm hoping he gets into watching the show because I think it's a damn good show. Forget that I was in it. I just think it even stands up now because I try and watch shows from 20 years ago. I can't watch for more than 5 minutes. Our show actually holds up. It does. Even though the quality maybe the first few years isn't high def, it doesn't really matter because we're building things. You know what I mean?
And it took my girls, they're 19 now. They just started watching it.
And they like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
They're fascinated by it.
We're like old farts now, man. It's we're like ancient history. We're like classics, right?
Yeah, we're antiques.
We're antiques, pretty much,
I'm sure there was probably something on every episode where we wish they did something different.
I would say Vin's right. I think we wish they did something different. They didn't
Showed
really.
a little more of
Yeah, right. I think we were more
worked really hard
sometimes
on.
disappointed, if we worked for a week on a gas tank and it was all this drama and then it was nowhere in the episode. But but no, honestly, they had more drama than they could deal with. My father was a drama queen. I mean, and I say that in the nicest possible way because without him, we wouldn't have had the success we had, and I would have never built motorcycles. So, everybody wants to talk about the butting of heads, and they want to say, they want to take sides. But the truth is, without Paul Sr., man, none of us are even sitting on this stage because he was so Hulk Hogan-y in his insanity and his drive and his instability and his, all these things that you saw that you loved, right? You loved. Some people love to hate him, mostly women sometimes, especially moms, right? But it was really relatable. And it was, I'm telling you, the most common thing I get from men, okay, whether their fathers are alive or not, and quite often they're not anymore, is your father was just like my father. And I hear that time and time again. It's like the common denominator. And Vin's dad was just like my dad, but not the same kind of guy, but that old school, kick your ass, go to work, don't frickin' mouth off, don't tell me anything. You can't tell him anything because even if he's right, he's wrong. I mean, even if he's wrong, he's right. That old school kind of way. And I was just talking to Clayton because Clayton's dad, Don, used to drive truck for us and was in a lot of the early episodes, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Don, his
Miyagi.
father drove for us, man. And matter of fact, he drove for us when we first realized we were famous, and I was just telling him that. And it was in Louisiana.
The
Steel,
Superdome.
what was that? Superdome.
No, the
in the,
Superdome.
in the
When he had to pull
Superdome.
the truck in there,
Was that
and I
the
had
Steel
to-
Pony? What was that? What was that called?
I don't know. The Steel Pony was
Something else.
outside,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
But it was the
anyways,
Superdome.
the first time we realized we were famous, the show had just started. We were in the Superdome. We were signing autographs, and people were pouring in. It was like one of the early episodes. And he was our driver. And I remember in that episode, I said, "That's Don, our driver." I don't know if you remember that, but anyways, he was there all the time driving for us, and he did a great job. And it's interesting because we had so many people like that come through the show through the years, including Vin's father, who was awesome and amazing. He really was. Mr. D was in the show. And I remember Mr. D was always there. And we had a lot of fun years with Vin and his dad and my dad. And my father and Vin's father go way back in the early days of Montgomery and snowmobiling and everything else. So we're old locals. You know? Like this area right here is not too dissimilar to where we're from. So I guess when you're looking at us, you're kind of looking in the mirror. And I think that was a big aspect of what made the show so successful, right? It was very everyman. Like I grew up in the steel business. He grew up grinding it out, greased up, greasy hands, working under a car, that kind of stuff. So I certainly think that was a big part of the appeal. We weren't actors, and so to your question, no, not really. Like the drama was just built in. It was there. It's actually when they started filming what they loved about it. As a matter of fact, the very first episode of American Chopper got edited, polished. Okay, so they took out all the fights because they just didn't think there was room for it. And the producer who came to us saw the edited version and freaked out and said, "Where are all the fights that we saw in the first episode?" And it took another 6 weeks, and it almost didn't make its first air date, and they put all the fights back in. So the very first episode you saw was like the Bob Vila we were looking for, but we didn't know what was going to be successful. This producer did. His name is Craig Pelagian, Pilgrim Films and Television. He's now owned by Lionsgate, but he's like the CEO now. I don't know what he is, but he has become a mogul monster. And he found us. He found us on a phone call. And I picked up the phone and I said, yes. And the rest is history, pretty much. Oh my gosh. We started the actual OCC, I think it was 99. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yep, I did. My parents were separated. I lived with my mother. We both did. Right?
You bet.
And it was 99. And that's when, here.
What the fuck do you want me to say? Holy shit. Yes,
Nothing.
Paul. How about you shut the fuck Holy shit.
No, you're fine. You're not starting any fights. We were living at home. It was 1999, and this is I think we built bikes for maybe 2 or 3 years before television came on, and we were like going everywhere and trying everything, showing our bikes everywhere we could, and actually hitting a lot of dead ends. We would build 5 or 6 bikes, go on the road, show them, sell them, and the bank account just did this, right? We weren't making any real money. Yeah, well, a lot of people understand that. Yeah, it wasn't until the show hit that, all of a sudden we were making more money on T-shirts than even like motorcycles, and we were making a lot of money on motorcycles. So when the show hit, that was just put us in the stratosphere, And again, like I said earlier, 200 countries and territories, 90 languages. It wasn't a regional show, and it was very much beloved overseas because in some of these countries, especially Latin America countries, they're very family oriented, and it was very well received in those places. So, yeah.
What's that?
Were you married?
Oh no, I'm not married. No. Is that a proposal?
No, happily married.
Oh, jeez. Another one bites the dust, Mike.
It's more fit.
What's that?
Where do you guys stand with your dad?
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, for me, I just saw him not too long ago, and he's doing good. I'd like to have more of a relationship. I'd love to tell you a different story. He's doing good. He looks good. I think he's building bikes like crazy. He's building more bikes than I am, which is good to hear. But I don't know. I love the guy. So to me, he's my dad. So I'm always hopeful that the future is more bright than it is now. And it's not like, it's funny. People see us in that early years of the American Chopper when it was early and we were fighting. We don't do that. That hasn't happened in a long time, over a decade, I'd say. But time goes by. He's got kind of a different family. And so I don't want to say indifference sets in, but I think sometimes distance. He's in Florida. He goes back and forth to New York. He's kind of got his own life. So we really don't do a lot or talk a lot. But I'm always hopeful that changes. He's 75. I'll be 51. No one's getting younger, but it is what it is. Mike sees him a lot. Mike goes out there, gets bit by his dogs.
Yep. He's got a dog who wants to kill me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get along very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mikey's always gotten along good with my father. He's always you see the show. My father, those two have a great relationship,
Which bike that all three of you built meant the most to you, and why?
I'm going to let Vin answer that one. Just because I get this question as an individual all the time, I'd be curious to hear what he says because I don't think we've ever really been asked that question together. And we've built some heavy iron, man. Let me tell you something. Our body of work is deep. So
I don't know. I mean, I'd still have to say the fire bike.
Fire bike, okay.
I have to.
There you go, man. That's
Listen,
a good
lot
answer.
A lot of them meant a lot to me in different ways, but ultimately that was the most important.
All right, now ask him the PJD days when we separated. Now ask him that question.
PJD days.
Yeah, our run.
I don't know.
Think hard.
The Cadillac was awesome. The Gears of War was just something.
Yeah, we had serious bikes, man. I'll
had
tell you.
never built anything like that.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, our PJD days were stronger than our OCC days
they were.
in some ways. This is OCC. This is because it's iconic. The Black Widow's iconic.
I feel like we all had way more pressure.
And we had more pressure and more experience. My design.
The pressure is what made everything happen.
Yep.
As good as it was, I feel like.
I think he's right. We were creating a diamond under the pressure. We felt the weight of OCC because we came out of that, and they were the big dogs, right? I mean, everybody knows Orange County Choppers. They were just monsters.
And every episode, it was for us to crush it.
It was. And we went hard on everything. I mean, and then we built Gears of War, and we built a 9/11 memorial bike, which I just posted today, which is in the memorial.
Remember trying to do the Phoenix? The tank?
Oh man, it was a puzzle.
We got a CAD program from the original one, and trying to convert all that.
Yeah.
And do that.
That gas tank was the Phoenix, which was the transportation hub, which was designed to be the Phoenix rising up out of the ashes of 9/11. I mean, that's what that whole thing was, and we made that our centerpiece for our gas tank.
And
that
then
thing
we had
was
to rebuild it after.
And then that's right. That's right. It was down in the visitor center before they finished the memorial.
Yeah.
And they had 4 feet of water come in because Manhattan got
water.
buried in what was it? What was Katrina? What was the Sandy. So we had to bring it back in and redo it. But all this stuff was good. It was good stuff.
It's really hard to pick. I think for me at a PJD is Gears of War.
Gears of
Only
War.
because it was so unique. Remember trying to figure out that whole steering setup?
Yeah.
Sitting back.
That's
just
interesting.
Stuff we've never done. It
Yeah.
wasn't a motorcycle, It was a freak show from a video game.
Yeah, that's funny. I wouldn't pick that one. So I'm glad I handed it off to him because, everybody has it's funny how, and what I really love about these podcasts with having Vin on is I have my own perspective, so I have my own thoughts about everything. This is the way it is, right? But then you talk to him about things, and it's a whole different perspective. His understanding, his approach, his thought process, the things he likes and doesn't. He remembers things differently. He remembers things. We just did a podcast not that long ago. He was saying things to me, and I was like, all of a sudden I remembered it. I did not remember any aspect of it. As soon as he said it, I saw it in my head. So it's weird, like you start to reminisce, and we did so many, all three of us have so much. We have like 3 lifetimes together. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. We did so much, not just travel. We traveled the world.
Yeah.
We build amazing things. We were in these situations that no one gets to be in. And I have to tell you, man, we are so blessed to have this experience, because the older I get, the more I realize how darn unique this whole situation has been.
And
you
it
know?
wasn't, none of it was like we were just giving it to us and we were letting it pass us by. We were in it working through all of it together.
We pushed hard
Yeah.
through all of it. We didn't just go, oh, this is great. We got television. Let's just sit back and shine the cameras on me. We fought hard for everything we did, creatively and otherwise.
Yep, he did.
That was a pretty cool moment. What was that like for you?
That was it was because the fire bike. First of all, through the time it was, everything that happened with all 9/11, and then all the time we put into it, and that was, I think, the first bike I think I've ever
rode.
Did the first
Yeah,
ride.
that's right. It was usually me or my father. And when we built the fire bike, we took time to build that bike. We didn't just 9/11 didn't happen and we just did it. We're like, you can throw a rock at New York City from us. All in our area are firemen, right? They all live, because we're within a certain distance from the city where you're kind of as far out as you can go and still work in the city and be a city fireman.
Yeah.
So all around us, we were friends. Michael was really good friends with Ronaldsons. Al Ronaldson had passed away years ago died in a fire, and that was unheard of back then.
Yep,
And later
very
on,
rare.
we went to his son Al Ronaldson's firehouse to unveil the bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was uncommon back then. Me or my father would ride the bikes all the time, and then
And we really busted our ass on that bike. We spent so many late nights, and it was nice because it was kind of like a little reward at the end. You know, that you let me
and
ride
Vin
it.
was working his ass off for us, so we thought, hey, let him ride the fire bike.
It was special.
Pay it forward. I don't know.
Hey, Paul, the creative process. So, would you sit with the brand, and the brand would tell you key elements they're looking for in a motorcycle, and then how would you communicate that to Vinnie? What's in your mind?
Yeah, that's a really great question. The creative process was this for me, okay? Because I would need to sit down with the client. Because remember, because we do whatever we want, right? Because there's no drawing. So you get what you get at the unveil. No one sees the bike until the day of the unveil, right? So we would sit down with the client, hear what they are, hear what they say, and then we would create the bike, like I said earlier, that had they been a bike builder, or if they knew what to do, that's what they would do. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. So we would fully integrate what they're telling us, whether it was a product, whether it was colors. Quite often they'd say, we like the MLB bike, so I'm Pro Street. I'm not building them a chopper, so now I'm in the Pro Street phase, right? And then they're going to say, well, this is a product, this is a color. This is, Cepheid is a great example, right? The gene expert. They had this technology where they did this gene testing for people out in the field in a laptop, and they were saving lives in Africa with this technology. And so we integrated that exact technology into the bike itself. We did 3D DNA wheels. That was another good bike. Remember, Cepheid was a really good one. With the Gene Expert, remember the thing opened on the side with the...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a better way, remember?
Boom, yeah.
A better
A
way.
little song going for that one.
Yeah, so we just took what they said, and then we just teamed up. And then, it's so funny because mostly people would hand drawings out to all the people working in the company and say, this is the project. What I would do is I would articulate ideas in real time to Vin and Cody and Brendan and whoever else, and I would be almost a symphony. I know that sounds crazy, but we was like I was orchestrating all these guys' great talents, and sometimes I had 20% of an idea or 70% of an idea, but it didn't matter because we were working towards something. And if Brendan came to me and said, I think we should do this, I would take it into consideration. But if I didn't think it was right for the project, I would say no. Or other times I would say, that's a great idea. That's how I would handle these guys. Am I right? I never took the fact that I was the lead designer so seriously that I wasn't willing to trust the very best people out there with the product. You see what I'm saying? So I would use their skill set. I was choosing them because they were capable. A lot of people get caught up. Other people, oh, this is my idea. This is what you do. To a certain extent, I had to toe the line, but I always gave everyone a little bit of breadth and width because I wanted the best out of them for the product. Does that make sense? That's what I always did. That's the only way I knew to operate. And no one taught me that. And so when I say it was a God-given talent, I was never taught by a human any of what you see and you're impressed by. I give all the glory to God for all of that process. That's all I can tell you. Right?
Yeah.
He knows we grew up together. I was in the steel business. I could weld things and stuff, but I didn't have this. I didn't know I had this in me. I was 26 years old when I finally realized maybe I was a little creative, you know? And my brother Michael, same thing. Hyper creative. I feel like it's just like runs in the family. Vinnie too. Vinnie's like a creative thinker, like an engineer mind. You know, he figures stuff out. So we're all put together to entertain you guys with stuff like this, and it's been a great process, and it's been a great journey. And I don't think we're done, man. I think we're going to build some more bikes.
You bet. What do you think, gang? All right. 2-for-1 Jello shots.
Thanks.
We had an online question from Mikey, and the question was, does Mikey still do art?
I do. I try to make movies now. I don't paint any longer. I don't know if that answers the question. But yes, I guess.
You were going to buy some of that art today at the
I
convenience
was,
store.
yeah. We stopped at a crappy convenience store today, and they had a bunch of velvet paintings.
Oh, like the old school, like a wolf or something like that?
Yeah, all the worst.
Really?
Yeah, they were great.
That's great.
They were, man.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up, guys. It's been a long day and a long evening. Yeah, we'll take one more over here.
I just want to know, I know earlier you said you're planning on making this a yearly event. Are there plans like each year maybe bring back another special guest, like 1 year Cody, 1 year Rick, etc.?
I mean, I would actually if these guys would come back, I'd bring them back and maybe add another. Yeah, so maybe. I think.
Comes.
Oh, it's Rick Pecco's birthday today.
Is it?
Let's call him on the show. It is. Call him right now on speaker.
Should I call him?
Yeah, call him right now on speaker. Yeah, call him on speaker.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What time
No,
is
it's 9:30.
What are you kidding me? It's
He's
his
got
birthday.
He's got kids.
See, these people are going to be disappointed now. You don't want to disappoint the fans.
Rick's a certain kind of guy, man. You can't just call Rick.
Is so regimented.
Yeah, Rick. He's
Well, you leave a
probably-
message. We'll have everybody sing happy birthday to
Rick
him.
used to remember when Rick came into the shop every day.
Yeah.
He would walk the same footprints into that shop.
He was,
such
man.
a guy
very
that
particular.
was so.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something,
he's
man.
habitual.
I'll be honest with you. He was probably the most committed guy I ever met in my whole life. He would drive 2.5 hours from Pennsylvania, from probably somewhere around here, not really, but it was like halfway to
bad.
New York. But
Yep.
2.5 hours in the morning and in the evening,
And that
and he
guy was
worked late nights.
and the
He
first
drove
guy there
5
every
hours
day.
round trip for a decade. 5 hours. Nobody does that. Who does it? You do that? No, nobody does. Even by us, it's an 1.5-hour trip to New York City if you work in the city, right? So he did that for how long? He hit bears on the way in half the time. He really did, man. Rick Petco is a serious dude, and he was great for us, too. It's so interesting because you talk about characters. There's 3 of us up here. Man, we had like 12 great guys that it's funny because everyone who watched the show could relate differently to everyone in the pecking order and how it worked, and it was all dynamic, and we were all freaking nuts. We were nuts. We were nuts back in the day.
We would fuck with each other.
Oh, we were rough.
We
were so bad, man. This guy was shooting spitballs in my ear from nowhere all the time.
Blowing up
Yeah,
fireworks.
paint grenades.
Yeah, that was great. Remember we used to mess with Rick? We'd move his stuff around. He was such a guy that had to have everything.
He was. Yes, he was very OCD about
We'd go
everything.
in the morning and move his stuff around.
You're not going to call him?
I could try. Let me see.
He was active 20 minutes ago.
Oh, he was?
What are you doing there?
I own a repair shop, actually.
For automotive?
Yep, automotive repair shop. Yep, 2013 I started it. Yep.
Is it in the city or where is it?
No, it's where we live in Montgomery, New York.
Vin's making billions.
He's like, no, he's not.
He goes, no, it's not possible.
We own 2 shops. You're not making billions.
Vin works his
I make a
ass
nice
off,
living.
man,
Yeah.
and he's good. His weekends are for his family. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where he does. You gotta find
don't
him.
work
He's
weekends,
not available, but he works his ass off all week. He's
All
got
week.
good. I was in there the other day when we did the podcast. He's got great employees, man. They all look like they're working their butts off, and that's a hard thing to find nowadays. It's
And I
hard to
got some
find
good-
people to work.
I got 2 good young kids.
Yeah,
that
go
wanna
find
work.
that.
Go
Cody's
find
the
that.
last one we had. That was 20 years ago.
I know.
You know? Yeah, so I mean, that's good. It's, yeah. Yeah, so. All right, well, listen, I think this has been great. I want to thank you guys for being on the Paul Jr. podcast, having us out. We're going to do this again next year if you'll have us. And this has been fun. We get to hang out, ride scooters and motor. I was jealous these guys are riding scooters. I want to be on a scooter today.
Are you guys riding tomorrow?
No, I don't think I think we're done with riding. I mean, he's going to be riding. I know he's going to be scooting everywhere.
You guys want to sing happy birthday to Rick anyways? He'll see it on the World Wide Web.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
Rick Pecco.
Happy birthday to you.
BDR.
Happy birthday, dear Rick Petco. Happy birthday to you.
We love you, Rick.
Yeah, Rick.
Come next year. Come back next year.
Yeah, wherever you are out there in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
God bless you.